Hello and welcome to Geordie Rambles. Today I'm going to take you on a walk with me to Kent, starting at Soul Street Station and finishing at Higham Station. The walk's in between Rochester and Gravesend and goes right up to the Thames estuary at one point. We go through a nice charming village and forest land as well. Not an amazing forecast for today, and it's been quite grey so far, but we will see how we get on. I've just arrived at Soul Street Station. It's quite wet and a bit dark, but we will see how we go. I forgot to put the walk instructions in some sort of like plastic wallet or something waterproof. Oops, oh well. These are all actually apple orchards. Obviously there's nothing on them at this time of year. There's something almost a tiny bit kind of eerie about this bit. I don't know, just you can almost imagine being watched, or just how they're also, you know, neatly in rows. But I like it, it's got a good atmosphere. Another thing I wanted to point out and talk about is just like where I get my walks from. I'm not one of these hiking snobs who like, oh, you can only, you must use an Ordnance Survey map. And one way I do walks is plan it on an Ordnance Survey map, which I do love, but I tend to do that more in sort of remote areas further up in the north of England as opposed to out and about London. Today's walk is off a fantastic website called Out of the Loop, which is all walks accessible by train from London, which has honestly been my go-to since I've moved here. I've also got books of walks, which are also really, really good. And also there's a great app called Komoot, and that is like, you can download a walk from the internet onto GPS and use that and follow that, which is also fantastic. So just anywhere you want to get your walk, just get it from there, you know what I mean? There's no snobbery. Whether you like instructions so you can follow it clearly, or doing your own survey, or using a smartphone, you know, all equally valid in my opinion. So this is St Mary Magdalene Church in Cobham. Oh, it looks incredibly atmospheric today with the grey skies and the turret up there. And for any history buffs out there, apparently this is 13th century, if that's of any interest to anyone. Oh my God, look at this. Absolutely amazing. I'm assuming it's original sort of architecture. The leather bottle, that is. Lovely. I've been walking about half an hour now, and I thought it was time to do a little check-in and just see where I'm at, see where you guys are at. I think I'm feeling a little bit kind of directionless at the minute. Not really sure exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going, like on a bigger scale, you know. And I think I kind of struggle with that. And it often manifests as sort of like a lot of self-critical thoughts that go round and round my head, you know. Sort of classic symptoms of sort of low mood, that sort of thing. But just not feeling great about myself, and the thoughts I do have about myself aren't nice at all. And when you think like that for long periods of time, it kind of becomes damaging. So yeah, I'm just reflecting that, that lack of sort of direction and what I'm doing and sort of purpose and what I'm up to at the minute, I guess. Everything feels a bit uncertain, but then you could argue that life is kind of uncertain. But where are you guys at? Like, always take a second just to stop sometimes and just sit with your thoughts and sit and just wonder where you are, see where you're at. Doesn't matter if you're in a good place or a not so good place. It's just important to stop and evaluate for a second sometimes. fantastic. I mean, it looks like a set piece or something, doesn't it? Brilliant. Very important during these winter months, of course, when we're walking, to remember to hydrate. Yeah, remember, keep drinking water when you're on long walks in winter, because it just doesn't, sometimes you don't feel like you need it, but you definitely do. Cardiac Hill. Bit of a worrying name, isn't it? It's meant to be a hand. I don't know if you can see. Let me show you a bit closer. So see the fingernail on there? So we're ignoring these and we are going left. Today I want to talk about solitude and how we get solitude, how much solitude we need. So to me, solitude is that sort of that time alone to recharge, to refresh, to be quiet and just take a moment, I guess. And in my sort of late teens and early 20s, I really didn't feel like I needed much solitude. I'd always like to be with friends or with a friend and hanging out. And there was time when obviously you're by yourself and that sort of just came naturally. I never chose it. I never thought, oh, I need to have some moments in solitude. It just seemed to balance out naturally. But as I've got older, and especially now I'm like in my 30s, I found myself wanting solitude more and more and more. And I think some of that had to do with living in London, especially when I first came down. I found the city very overwhelming and overstimulating. So I'd like to be quiet a lot, but I think now it's tipped too far, if that makes sense. I think I probably spend a bit too much time by myself. And when does solitude turn to like isolation or loneliness? And for me, those things, and for most people, I think when you're thinking in those terms, they're not good for someone. You know, people like to say, oh, I'm very extroverted, I like to be out all the time with friends, or oh, I'm very introverted, I just like to be by myself. And there's a fair point to that, but I think it's definitely a scale. I don't think anyone is an extrovert or an introvert. People are more introverted or more extroverted than others. And yeah, I feel at the minute, I'm spending too much time alone, and I've sort of gone from solitude edging into sort of a little bit of isolation and sort of just not feeling as comfortable to enter new social situations. And that's something I definitely need to do, because I think we need meeting new people and doing new things is how we grow. And I'm a big believer you don't stop growing, you keep pushing yourself. And you don't have to do any, you don't have to do extreme things, but we should always be challenging ourselves to try and sort of try new things. And again, as I say, they don't have to be huge things, but yeah, is there such thing as too much solitude, I guess? And what can that do, and what does that do long term if you spend too much time by yourself? And how do you manage? I mean, do you find you can balance solitude and, going out and seeing people and doing things well, or do you struggle with it as well? And have you found you've spent too much time by yourself in the past, and how have you got out of that? What's helped you, and what's stopped you becoming isolated or lonely? Or maybe you are at the minute and you want to change that and you don't know how. Just got me thinking. I mean, today doing this by myself, this feels like solitude. It's purposeful, it's quiet, it's space. I don't feel lonely, I don't feel isolated. It's got purpose, So yeah, what do we think? Oh, here we are, we have emerged overlooking the Thames estuary. And it just looks so moody today with the low cloud and the greys. And you might not be able to see, but there's some sort of like cranes and industry sort of sites on the horizon, which just such an atmosphere, so bleak, especially with those telephone wires, but something really unique and special about it. Serious mud going on. Rain is fucking hell. Train. Rain's really coming in now, guys. Yep, we'll carry on, but oh god, it's even going over the camera. I can see. I think I'm on the last like third of the walk, but yeah, we'll see how it go. Well, I've made it to the Thames estuary, guys. Whew. Pretty bleak, but amazing. It's got its own atmosphere, as I mentioned earlier, you know, something about it. Okay, as I say, I've made it to the Thames estuary. The weather's really turned now. Very windy, as you can probably hear on the mic. I'm not sure how well it's picking up. We're going to keep going, go along the edge of the Thames for a bit, and then head back inland. So yeah, I'm in waterproof, so I'm all right. And actually, I'm not cold because I'm moving. But yeah, talk about solitude. I mean, this is I haven't seen a single person for so long. Yeah, but sometimes on these walks you just have to put your head down and keep going, which is what I'm kind of in the mode of now. But it is interesting, the estuary. You can't see on the camera, but it's got fog on it. It's got some fog and eerie buildings behind it. Yeah, really atmospheric. But whew, yeah, wish me luck. There are lighter skies somewhere. It is easing off a little bit. God, but that light is just, yeah, doing some nice things, isn't it? So, this morning when I got up, it was dark outside and it was wet and grey, and you just think, oh, I'm not going to bother make a video, I'm not going to bother go for a walk, you know, like it's going to be rubbish anyway. And then when I got to the station, I was like, oh, the walk instructions, I haven't bought anything to put them in, and if they get wet, they're going to fall apart. And that negative voice saying that, oh well, you know, you would do that, you know, you've got it all wrong. I mean, in fairness, look at the walk instructions. I'm still trying to read them, mind you. I'm still having to like peel it apart gently to try and get there, but nearly at the end now. But I guess what I'm saying is, some days when you feel able to push through and not listen to that voice and do the thing you set out to do it, you know. And some days you won't be able to, and that's okay too. It's okay to say, okay, I can't manage today, tomorrow's another day, you know. But we can always find a reason or an excuse not to do something. Like today, the weather, as you saw, turned really nasty, and that could have been a reason, like, oh, I'm not going to do that. But instead it's like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my waterproof jacket on, and we're just going to see. And you know, if there's too much wind on the video, or you know, people can't hear me, or it doesn't matter, like at least I'm trying. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, whenever you feel like you can do it, do the thing you meant to do that day, even if everything's telling you not to. Once you get started doing it, you feel better, you do. And also there is like an in-between way, like say I didn't fancy coming out and getting the train out today, like for instance, I had to get on the underground in rush hour, and I was like, oh, I was crushed up against people and not feeling it at all. But say if I didn't fancy doing that, I could have done a small walk, let's say, and not filmed it, but got myself out and did something. So there's always like a compromise as well. There's something you can do as like an in-between. Yeah. But yeah, if you feel you can do the thing you set out to do, get started on it, because as soon as you're doing it, you will feel better. Okay, so I've made it to Higham station, and I'm just waiting for my train now back to London, which is in about 15 minutes, which is fine. Just sit quiet for a second. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that was enjoyable. That last half hour in the rain, that was intense. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. I've got loads of great walk ideas coming up, and feel free to drop a comment, any thoughts about what I was talking about, or about the walk in general. I'll also put in the description a link to the walk, which is available online. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.